Hey everyone, it's Marc Veasey of Texas. This week on the fly-in, we're excited to welcome Brad Schneider, chair of the new Democrat coalition, to the podcast. We'll discuss the latest on the Epstein files, the bill Republicans just passed to cancel funding for PBS and life-saving foreign aid programs, also Trump's tariff taxes, and the New Dem vision for the future, and more. Let's get to it.
All right, so the big news of the week will be, whether or not the Epstein files discharge petition goes to the floor and gets a 218. I want to ask you about that, but I want to start with redistricting. What's the latest in Texas?
Well, the latest in Texas is that Donald Trump has asked the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, to call a special session on redistricting, which the governor did in a very servile way, obliged to. And it's crazy. Because they basically put together this, this really shoddy DOJ memo that most lawyers say it looked like AI or someone in junior high wrote, just to give Abbott an excuse and some cover to do redistricting. And of course, Congressman Trey Nails out of Houston, he's since said that no, it's just all about politics and that they want to try to keep the majority.
So what happens next, and what do Democrats do, or can they do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what happens next is that they're going to have some field hearings around the state, is my understanding, and let people come and testify on this.
They're going to get lit up in these field hearings.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because what they're doing is racist and crazy, right? Very discriminatory. And then they're going to attempt to pass the map. I don't think they're going to, have any trouble passing the map, but
because the Republicans control
the governor, lieutenant governor,
everything.
The state house, and the state senate. But I'll tell you what, people better fight like hell, because this is going to be the issue. This is going to be bigger than anything that's happening out there right now.
This week is another chapter in the Epstein files. You have a resolution. Thomas Massie has a discharge petition that should be in the well.
Yep.
And if we get 218 signatures, it forces a vote. What's your take? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that there are more than enough people that are willing to sign it. I know that right now where they're still trying to gain more signatures, but I think that this is something bipartisan. And I don't know if you saw Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said, you're not going to be able to dangle pieces of red meat out there to the base to get this to go away. You have to release those files. And for her to say that, it may be the most responsible thing that she's said since being a member, but she's 100% spot on.
Yeah, I can't give Marjorie Taylor Greene any credit for anything, but I do think this is important, and it's not important because it's bad for Trump. It's important because I think people are tired of this uber wealthy, the political elite who seem to be implicated in this. Some of them getting protected, getting everything they want because the government, this White House seems to work for them because they gave this guy a ton of money, and now he's going to shut it all down. Nobody gets to understand what really happened.
Right.
And it's another example of the super wealthy getting what they want at the expense of the rest of us. It's corruption.
It is the corruption. And not only that, Donald Trump is president of the United States. Donald Trump said that there was something in these files. Pam Bondi, who's the Attorney General of the United States, she said there's something in these files. Kash Patel, who's director of the FBI, he said there's something in these files. Dan Bongino, who had a nationally syndicated talk show on WAP radio that used to come on in Dallas-Fort Worth area, Dan Bongino said there's something in those files. You have the people at the highest levels of government saying that there is something there, and they've been saying it now for the last few years, and now they're like, oh no, there's nothing to see, everybody just go away. That is crazy. People need to see what's in those files, because when you're the president of the United States and you say something like that, your words actually mean something.
Now the three big things, tax provisions from the one big ugly bill, some tariff news, and then the rescission package that passed last week cuts the public broadcasting and foreign aid. To discuss all of these things with us, we have the New Dems chair, Brad Schneider, which is a big deal for us.
It is
excited to be here.
Got the chair.
When I was deciding whether or not to run for Congress, I was very much up in the air. And it was my meeting with the New Dems that made me think, oh, I would have a home if I ran for Congress. There would be a group of people that cared about policy, that wanted to get things done, that were pragmatic. And then Brad Schneider called and said, I hope you do it. And it was really that ultimately got me to put my name on the ballot. So thank you.
I think I should say you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what we expected a few years ago, but it's important.
But I do have this home now.
It's important that we're, and I agree. When I came to Congress first time, I started running in 2011 in the 2012 election. And at that time, New Dems were 42 members, much smaller group, but I knew that was my natural home, my ideological home. And today we're 115 members. We're a majority of the Democratic caucus, and the center of gravity has moved to the middle. And our members, they're the moderate members, which I say moderate reflects our style much more than our positions. We have a wide diversity of positions, but every one of our members rolls up their sleeves, wants to get down into the policy, into the substance, into the ideas, welcome exchanges of ideas with others, both within our caucus and across the aisle, to try to find ways to move our country forward for the American people.
You told me once that you did not, and I was shocked by this, I was saddened by this actually. You once told me that you do not watch Curb Your Enthusiasm because you basically said that was your dad and you got all the entertainment that Larry David was basically, that was your dad growing up, and so you didn't need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm.
My dad, first he was bald and he had the little crops of hair like Larry David. He had the acerbic view of the world in many respects like Larry David. My dad was great. I loved my dad. He was my hero. He is my hero to this day. But I've never watched House of Cards. Why watch that when I live it every day in Congress?
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about New Dems, your vision for New Dems, and what's it like being a chair of this Congress?
First, being the chair of New Dems is, I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah.
The New Dems, 115 members, everyone who is thoughtful, brings a lot of experience, perspective, ideas to the table. To have the chance to lead that is a chance of a lifetime. I could talk about New Dems for hours. I know we don't have that time, but what I can say is these are the members of Congress who we are the majority makers. As I mentioned, we've grown from 42 in 2013, the 113th Congress, to 115 members now, and many more people thinking or wanting to join us as we continue to expand. Our members and the candidates we recruit are the ones in the swing districts who are fighting on the front lines over policies and trying to convince those middle voters who are looking for someone who will represent their values, who will best reflect their aspirations, hoping to provide for their kids or achieve the American dream. It's the New Dem members who best reflect that. Yeah. And that's why we've grown more than almost triple in the last decade in size, because it's the New Dem message of a lowering costs and growing our economy, healthy and safe neighborhoods, strong national security, national defense. That message and the idea we bring to support that perspective is what's resonating across the country.
Yeah. So speaking of families, God bless Julie Schneider. Your wife is
I'm the best wife.
A lovely person.
Thank you.
And I love every time she comes to the Capitol and I get to meet her. And as of course, us being classmates, I've gotten to know her over the years. And she's just she's
ditto.
a wonderful
and you
person.
should mention, we're talking about growing up in Colorado. Your son Adam, I have a son Adam.
Yeah, that's right.
Adam's going to be a sophomore at University of Colorado.
That's right. Go Buffs. Yeah. Go Buffs.
You're on Ways and Means too. That's the committee that handles taxes. Tell us, because we got into healthcare last week, tell us a little bit about the provisions in the 10-year one big ugly bill, the tax provisions, and what we should be doing.
This is a bill, we can talk about the negatives. It's going to, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, take away health care from 17 million people, put 300 rural hospitals at risk of closing, our safety net hospitals across the country at risk of closing. It's taking away anti-hunger programs that will leave millions of children without food, going to school in the morning hungry, and we know that that school breakfast, that school lunch is critical for success. And it's going, because it's adding to the debt, which I'll get to in a second. It's going to force a cut to Medicare of $500 billion. Right? That's just some of it. It repealed much of what we did with the Inflation Reduction Act, specifically around environmental, trying to address climate change, electric vehicles, investing in renewable energies. Investments that were underway are going to be undercut, if not completely shut down. hundreds of thousands of jobs are expected to be lost because of this one big bad bill. And it's adding $4 trillion to our debt. If you add on the interest costs, it's going to be closer to $5 trillion. That's an extraordinary burden that we're putting on future generations that's unacceptable. And that's just in the nutshell. If we went deeper, we could talk about a lot of other really bad things within that bill.
And you understand how bad that is, that family, because other things I don't know about you is that in your previous life, you helped families with their finances.
I was an advisor to family businesses. I was talking about it today with a group of international tax professionals. And you know, family businesses look across generations. Their goal is to try to pass not just their values and traditions, but pass on the business from generation to generation. And this bill makes it a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
New Dems obviously have their own plans, including a tax plan. What does that look like, and what could people expect us to do if we were the ones running the show?
Yeah, I mean, you'll see a big contrast. I mentioned earlier in our conversation, we rolled out our vision, New Dem vision, and what we're hoping for the country, and it's really three priorities or three pillars: lowering costs, growing the economy, healthy and safe neighborhoods, and strong national security, national defense. Within that, we have 9 working groups who are taking that platform and turning it into policy ideas. We've started to roll out those frameworks. Our first one was a tax framework, which is making life easier for working families. It's giving parents a running shot by expanding the child tax credit, making childcare more affordable, helping families get into their first home and continue to grow as their family grows with affordable housing. It's supporting entrepreneurs and people who want to start a new business and grow a business. The majority of enterprises in this country are small businesses. The majority of workers in this country work in small businesses, and we need to make sure that they have a fighting chance, so we're supporting that.
I want to ask you about the Trump tariff taxes. They keep coming back. You think they're going to go away, the market rallies, and then the Trump tariff taxes come back. This time he wants to set tariffs for about 150 countries. The August the 1st deadline, I think it sent letters to 25 countries setting blanket tariff rates ranging from about 25 to 50%, as well as the 50% tariff on copper. And so I want to ask you, will it be tacos again, or will he actually go through with it?
Well, let's expand what you mean by tacos, because the market finally recognized that Trump always chickens out.
That's right. Tacos.
And we saw April 2nd, Trump announces these massive tariffs, reciprocal tariffs, and the market responded. Stock market tanked, but it wasn't just the stock market, the bond market. People started saying, I don't really trust America as the place where we should invest or a safe harbor for our money. And that spooked everybody. Yeah. And a week later, Trump chickened out. Taco won, and he pulled it back. And the answer to that, 90 days, they were going to do 150 deals, or 90 deals in 90 days was the promise. And 90 days later, chicken two, he's announced a couple of frameworks for deals, nothing specific.
Four.
Yeah,
right?
Zero.
Zero deals, but
Zero deals.
Four frameworks for deals. And then he was sending letters. And so July 9th became August 1st, and he said, all right, I'm sending letters to everybody, and we'll see what happens. He announced it, he learned, don't announce it on a day that the market's open. He announced it on a Saturday. By Monday, it was already kind of pulling away from it. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But this is what I was talking about before. These on-again, off-again tariffs, the fact that what he says today may or may not be what he thinks tomorrow, and what he thinks and says tomorrow could be different the next day, means that businesses can't make long-term or even short-term decisions.
Rescissions package. I want to ask you about that, Mr. Chairman. Cancels $9 billion in congressionally appropriated funding for foreign assistance, including global health and food programs and PBS. So think Sesame Street and other shows that both of our Adams grew up on. This is obviously, these programs are a lifeline for many people. What's your view on that?
So let me touch on a couple things. We grew up on these programs.
We
did. It was Mr. Rogers. It was Sesame Street.
That's when we
was Nova. There were so many things that.
That's when we actually first got to know Morgan Freeman.
Right. It's more than that, though. This cut funding for local broadcast stations in rural communities. right, where you don't maybe have a daily newspaper, and you don't have the other opportunities to get information about the weather, about the markets for corn or wheat or whatever product you might be growing. Those stations are going to be at risk of closing down because of this rescissions package.
Yeah.
It was short-sighted, it was mean-spirited, and it's a reflection that the Republicans, what they did with this rescission package is reverse agreements Democrats and Republicans had made earlier in funding bills and said, we don't care what we agreed to. We have, because of the majority, we're able to just reverse it and throw those agreements away. It's going to make it really hard for us as we look forward to funding the government for fiscal year 26 or other things that need to get done, the National Defense Appropriations Act, things that have to have bipartisan support. If the Republicans are going to continue to negotiate in bad faith and disregard Democratic commitments and compromises, how do we continue to move forward?
The money from foreign aid is particularly cruel. Arguably one of the cruelest things I think the United States Congress has done. What was your take? I mean, you've been here, you've worked on those foreign assistance bills. They've always been bipartisan. They make a huge difference in terms of our place in the world, but it also is how we express our values around the globe, and the number of children that get food and school and medicine because of this aid, and what it's going to do to these children, the poorest children in the world, is so unsettling.
So you're absolutely right about the moral imperative to help the world, because we are the richest country in the history of mankind, in history. And I think there is a responsibility to help those around the world. But there's a selfish imperative that's just as important. Our foreign policy should reflect American interests, advance American ideals and American goals, help keep Americans safe around the world, and help Americans succeed around the world. And by investing in providing programs that fight hunger or fight disease, to help make sure that allied governments that are in developing countries are able to serve their people and not become failed states, we are actually protecting and advancing American interests. So this is, again, another example of short-sighted policymaking, mean-spirited, vindictive, and does nothing to advance American interests or protect American people around the world. It actually sets us back.
In case you missed it, today is going to be a game called Connections, and it's our way of getting folks to better get to know some of the new Dem members, and as the chair, we're going to see how well you do. So
I play this game on the New York Times, so I'm pretty good.
The Connections game.
The Connections game.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to name a few members of Congress who also happen to be new Dems, and you're going to tell me what connects them.
All right.
Okay, what is the common thread? All right, me, Johnny O, Nikema Williams, John Mannion, and Jahana Hayes.
So Jahana Hayes was Teacher of the Year before she came into Congress.
Yeah.
And while she may be the only one who we have achieved that status, all of those are teachers, and many of them were, I have no doubt, extraordinary teachers.
That's right. That is right. All right, here's the next one. Jason Crow, Mikey Sherrill, Derek Tran, Pat Ryan.
So I know Jason's an Army Ranger, Pat's Army, Mikey Sherrill is Navy, and I don't know what branch Derek is, but I'm assuming it's all four veterans.
Yep, that is right. As a matter of fact, I think that...
Ding, ding, ding.
That's right. That's
wow.
Right. I think
Told you I played this
I think
game.
Pat's West Point, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, here we go. Angie Craig, Greg Meeks, Brendan Boyle, and Rick Larson. Oh, I get it. I got it.
Ah, all right. Angie's the newest of our group. She is the ranking member for the Agriculture Committee. Brendan Boyle is ranking member for Budget Committee. Rick Larson's ranking member for Transportation Infrastructure. And Greg Meeks is ranking member of Foreign Affairs Committee I'm on. And we also could have done Adam Smith, ranking member of Armed Services.
Wow.
That's right.
Good job.
Pretty good.
Four for four.
Okay, next one. Pablo Jose Hernandez, Dan Goldman, Mike Levin.
You got me stumped. Give me a fourth one.
Jahana Hayes.
John Hayes.
Oh, all recent members who joined in the 119th Congress,
Very
the New
good.
Democrat Coalition.
Very good.
Newest members.
Newest
okay,
members.
we'll give that to you. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You
Let 'em
get
have
it.
that. Be generous.
All right, here we go. Susan Delbene, Jim Himes, and Adam Smith.
All current members of Congress
Yeah,
who are also former chairs of the New Democrat Coalition.
that's right.
I thought you were going to say all skiers, because I think that all three of them are from skiing
There's no
regions,
Adam Smith
and they all
does not
ski.
ski. There's no way.
No, but what I
he's
will tell
from
you is-
Washington
is-
State. I think he does ski.
I don't know. I haven't skied with Adam. I've skied with Jim and Susan.
And Susan, yeah.
Susan Delbene was on the ski patrol at Vail.
Oh, wow.
She
Yeah, she's a real.
serious.
She's a
legit.
serious skier.
Yeah. You did a great job, man. You need some Leon Black in your life.
What?
But you did a great job.
All right.
Who's Leon Black?
You know, I thought you watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. Do you not watch?
Oh, Leon.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here and for what you do.
This was a lot of
Man,
fun.
absolutely.
And thank
You're
you,
a good
thank you
man.
for doing this.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the fly-in is getting rave reviews. The work
Yeah.
you guys are doing, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we take off, please remember to follow us across the social media platforms and to rate and review the show wherever you get your podcast. We want to hear from you. We'll see you next time on The Fly-In.